In a country where over 78% of the population holds a smartphone like South Korea, it's no surprise that a free cat has become such a hot interactive platform. With around 5,000 live streaming channels running regularly. What's special here is that viewers pay each time they watch a video. And that's what has turned this place into a goldmine for many famous faces, especially the BJs, or broadcast jockeys, who are usually stunningly beautiful women that catch everyone's eye. One of the most famous names has to be Yeong, born in 1990. With her baby face looks, perfect measurements, and a voice as sweet as sugarcane syrup, it's no wonder she has a whole army of fans chasing after her. But Yeong's charm goes beyond just her appearance. She knows how to make each livestream stand out. From cosplaying sexy characters like nurses and female police officers, to inviting her close circle of famous streamer friends to join her live streams, playing games, chatting, basically creating all kinds of content that keep viewers glued to the screen. Even more special after rumors spread that she once dated Mark, a member of GOT7. Yes, that Mark. Yeong's name became even more sought after. Every time she appears or does something new, the online community buzzes with excitement and discussion. Although she became famous at a young age, Yeong has always been independent. She earns her own money, takes care of herself, and is proud to live true to who she is. But you know how showbiz is, it's never easy. With all the fame comes a lot of temptation. After years of being a BJ, a few months ago, Yeong suddenly shared that she wanted to stop. She felt tired and just wanted to go back to being an ordinary girl, living a peaceful life away from the noisy spotlight. She set off on a trip to rest and announced her farewell to her streaming career. In a heartfelt post, Yeong wrote, "I've lived my life fully as a streamer, and now I want to go back to being an ordinary person. After this trip, when I return to Korea, I'll share all my honest thoughts in a video on YouTube. I've heard, seen, and experienced so much. And I hope you'll watch that video simply as a heartfelt message from Yeong. Now, I'm starting a new chapter in my life and I'm determined to live well." After posting her farewell message, Yeong continued her travel journey, using it as a way to rest and regain balance before officially closing that chapter of her life. On June 2, 2023, she and a friend arrived in Cambodia. Everything seemed normal, but no one could have guessed that this would be the final stop. Just 4 days later, on June 6th, shocking news stunned everyone. Yeong's body was found at a construction site in Kandal province, near Phnom Penh, wrapped in a red blanket. The beautiful young woman who once captivated thousands of fans through the screen has now passed away mysteriously in a foreign land, just as she was about to step away from the entertainment world. The tragic news spread quickly, leaving the public, her fans, and everyone who knew her utterly stunned. As soon as the case was discovered, the Cambodian police got involved immediately. Following her schedule, they found out that on June 4th, 2 days before her death, Yeong had visited a small hospital in the Bungdingo area of Phnom Penh. The facility was run by a Chinese couple. There, she received an intravenous drip or was injected with some kind of serum. CCTV footage showed Yeong walking alone that day, wearing a black t-shirt and sports pants, entering the building as usual, with no signs of anything unusual. But after that, she never came out again. Shortly after, investigators raided the hospital and arrested the couple running it, Lei Wenxiao, 30, and Chai Hujian, 39. On June 13th, both were officially charged with intentional homicide. However, their testimony made the case even stranger. They admitted to administering the 4 drip to Yeong, but according to their statement, after the infusion, she suddenly had a seizure and stopped breathing. Terrified, the couple decided to cover it up by putting her body in their private car, driving to Kandal and abandoning it at a construction site. However, despite their attempts to deny intentional homicide, Public opinion and authorities in South Korea are not letting it go easily. On June 19th, Chosun Ilbo reported that, because the death involved a South Korean citizen abroad, the two Chinese suspects could be tried under South Korean law. According to Article 6 of the South Korean Criminal Code, if a Korean citizen is harmed overseas, South Korea has the right to request extradition for prosecution. This means the case may not end in Cambodia. Just when it seemed everything was about to be clarified, and the final verdict for the culprit was just around the corner, a new suspicion suddenly emerged. Yeong might not have died from the drip, but rather from physical trauma inflicted earlier. The first people who found her body revealed that she had numerous bruises and burns on her face and body, signs consistent with abuse. Immediately, many speculations arose. Could this have been more than just a medical accident? Was someone deliberately harming her out of personal hatred? Or was there some secret yet to be uncovered? The case grew murkier than ever, with so many suspicious details surrounding Yeong's death. And the most heartbreaking part is that a young woman, full of dreams, had chosen to leave the spotlight behind to live a peaceful life, but never got the chance to do so. A flood of questions began to surround the mysterious death of Yeong in Cambodia. What troubled many the most were the extremely strange details in the final chapter of her life. The first puzzling thing was the location of the incident. It's really hard to understand. Everyone wondered, why did Yeong choose to go to Phnom Penh? Because if you travel to Cambodia, most tourists head to Siem Reap, home to the famous Angkor Wat, bustling tourist spots, hotels, and resorts galore. Phnom Penh? Well, it has a few small attractions, but basically, it's not a popular choice for leisure travelers. So in the end, what was Yeong doing there? Did she have a special reason? It didn't stop there. What worried fans even more was that during her entire time in Cambodia, Yeong was completely silent on social media. A celebrity who was usually so active posting photos, sharing stories, interacting with fans had this time totally disappeared. Not a single photo or post appeared on her personal Instagram. This only fueled more suspicion. Could something have been wrong from the very start? Then came an even bigger question. If she wanted to do beauty treatments with a serum infusion, why didn't she go back to South Korea? Or at least Phnom Penh has quite a few reputable Korean hospitals. A quick search would easily lead to safe and convenient places. Yet she chose a hospital run by a Chinese couple, a completely unfamiliar and uncommon spot. Why? Who recommended it? Or did she already know about this place beforehand? And there's more. Why did Yeong go there alone? When you're in a strange place, don't speak the language well, and need to get a checkup, IV drip or injection, you'd naturally bring someone along. No one would risk going alone unless she already had a connection with that place or had everything arranged beforehand. Every small detail started to connect. An unusual trip, an unfamiliar location, an abnormal silence on social media, and a risky, puzzling action. All of this made Yeong's death seem no longer like a simple medical accident, but more like a trap carefully set in advance. Could someone be behind this whole story? Could it be that Yeong knew something, but no one ever got to hear her say it? An equally intriguing detail is the friend who accompanied Yeong to Cambodia. As the almost sole person who had direct contact with her in a foreign country, all eyes naturally focus on this individual. Let's rewind a bit. On June 2nd, Yeong and her friend arrived in Phnom Penh, planning to stay for 4 days and 3 nights. But on June 4th, Yeong went somewhere and never returned to the room. She disappeared completely. 2 days later, her body was found. The big question is, why didn't the friend who stayed with her all that time report to the police, contact the embassy, or seek help from anyone? Clearly, this is very puzzling and calls for a clear explanation. However, after the Cambodian police investigated, this friend was released without suspicion. Moreover, their identity has been kept confidential because investigators said the person is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, a reason to protect their privacy and avoid adding more pressure. But this very lack of transparency about the friend adds a mysterious piece to the puzzle, making the whole story even more perplexing. And there's another chilling suspicion. Was Yeong brutally beaten before she died? According to the first people who discovered the body, she was swollen and showed signs of being beaten. But the local police said otherwise. They insisted that when the body was found, there were no clear wounds or signs of bleeding. They explained that the swelling could be due to the body being submerged in water for over 48 hours, combined with the fact that she had been injected with serum, which might have caused the deformities. This has left the public confused about whom to believe, their own instincts or the official statements from the police. For now, the answer can only come from the official autopsy results. Whether they can clearly determine the cause of those swellings or not. It doesn't end there. Some forensic experts who have seen leaked photos of Yeong's body have spoken out, saying that the injuries on her body don't look like those caused by assault or drug side effects. So then, what exactly is the real cause? The story becomes even more puzzling as Yeong's family has taken actions that raise many big questions. On June 6th, when her body was found in Cambodia, just 5 days later, her mother and 2 other family members flew to Phnom Penh. Yet, when the Cambodian authorities requested an autopsy to clarify the cause of death, her family immediately opposed it. They went to the South Korean embassy and clearly stated they did not want an autopsy, nor did they want the case to be made public. They also expressed a desire for the matter to be closed quickly without further investigation. This became a major point of controversy. People asked, why would the family make a decision that could be seen as obstructing the search for the truth? Whether the cause was side effects from the serum injection or something else, shouldn't the circumstances surrounding her death be thoroughly investigated? Refusing an autopsy risks leaving the investigation at a dead end, and the passing of the famous streamer will remain an unsolved mystery forever. Many people also wondered, could there be conflicts or hidden secrets within Yeong's family? But that's not the case. In reality, her family was very close-knit and loving. Yeong had moved to the US with her family while in middle school and lived happily there. She even had a US permanent resident card. When she became an adult, she decided to return to South Korea alone to pursue her career passion. While her parents stayed in Colorado, US. So then, why did they act that way? The question remains unanswered, but it only deepens the mystery surrounding the whole case. Yeong's family is no ordinary one. They're extremely wealthy. Her father enjoys golf as a hobby, while her mother owns a large portfolio of real estate in Seoul and across South Korea. Yeong herself revealed that she also owns several properties. Her father was especially devoted to her, texting her every day on KakaoTalk, and whenever he couldn't reach her, he would even call her friends to check in. That's why the family's opposition to the autopsy left many people really puzzled. Some even speculate that the family might have met Yeong's companion in Cambodia and learned some hidden secret, which made them want to keep everything under wraps to protect the honor of their late daughter. But then, after the local police and the South Korean embassy got involved in persuading them, the family changed their stance. They agreed to let the Cambodian authorities carry out the autopsy, hoping to clarify the cause of Yeong's death. Yet even this isn't straightforward. In Cambodia, an autopsy requires a warrant from an investigating judge, but strangely, that order still hasn't been approved. So many questions, so many suspicions remain hanging in the air, with no answers in sight. While waiting for the truth to come out, negative rumors began to circulate. Some claimed that Yeong went to Phnom Penh to work in entertainment venues, or even to sell her body to shady figures. However, local officials have strongly denied these rumors. The truth is, if any Korean woman went to Phnom Penh for such work, they'd typically stay at least a month. But Yeong's trip? It was just a brief 4 days and 3 nights, way too short for anything like prostitution to happen. Plus, a Cambodian tourist visa alone costs about $30, not to mention plane tickets, hotel fees. Who would spend all that money just to come and leave so quickly? So clearly, those negative speculations are completely baseless and unconvincing. Yet all those hidden mysteries only deepen the sadness and mystery surrounding Yeong's death.